Hello and good morning, and here we are at my 45th weekly video, Living with Alzheimer's. Wow. This week I want to talk a little bit about the problems that somebody like me has with Alzheimer's and conversation. And I think that there's something that I think a lot of people probably have difficulty in understanding, because conversation is something that we have every day, many times during the day, and we just take it for granted. But for somebody with dementia, with Alzheimer's, it's very difficult. And one of the problems is that trying to keep up with the pace of the conversation, trying to keep up with all that's going on, and trying to remember what has been said is another very big problem. Lots of people talking, so if you've got a conversation with 3 or 4 people, it's very difficult to focus on exactly what is being said. One-to-one, relatively slow and to the point, is good. And I don't mean slow as in really slow, but just to the point, and I suppose not too complicated. One of the problems that I have found personally, and I'm sure that others have as well, is that over the last 3 years, over the time that I've been diagnosed, is that I have gradually lost touch with what has been going on around me within the world, such as politics, and different current affairs, world affairs. And I suppose it makes it difficult because a lot of conversations are based around the weather, the politics, and stuff that's going on around us, normal everyday stuff. Things that people like me really lose the thread of what's going on. I don't know who the Prime Minister is. I know nothing now about world affairs. I don't listen to the news. Sometimes if I do listen to it in a very short space of time, I've forgotten it. Can I remember what the weather was yesterday? Yeah, I think it was hot yesterday, I believe, but prior to that, I don't really know. So conversations become limited. I can talk about my job. I can talk about my timber business that I owned. I can talk about that because I worked in that industry for many years, and it's ingrained in my mind. But people don't want to hear about that all the while. So when conversations are going on, when people are talking about different topics, people like me tend to just sit and maybe nod and grin as though we know what everybody's talking about. But in actual fact, we probably isolate ourselves a little bit and just sit and don't really say a great deal at all. Because the flow of the conversation doesn't work. I suppose, to put it very bluntly, I don't have a great deal to say about stuff. And that is a sad fact. Now, there's nothing much that anybody can do about it. There's nothing much really I don't think that people can do to make that situation easier. Maybe there's, I suppose, certain things, talking about things I'm interested in, like gardening, but even that, I've forgotten all the names of the plants. So I can't even look in the garden now and someone says, well, what sort of flower is this? And I have no idea. I still know what looks right in the garden, in the right places, and I still know how to probably lay the garden out and plan it and make it look attractive, but I have no idea of the name. So even that thread of conversation is gradually going. But that's Alzheimer's. That's how it is, and you can't do a great deal about it. We've just got to go with it. But it is difficult, and I think that people don't always realise that they don't realise that we forget the day-to-day stuff, and it impacts on our daily life as far as, well, I suppose every part of our lives, to be perfectly honest. And that's one of the reasons, I suppose, why I'm doing the challenge, because it does give me something to focus on. It does give me something to remember, and it also gives me a point of conversation, because people can say, how are you getting on with the with the training. How's this going? How's that going? And it does make it go a little, make the conversations go a little further. Now, talking about the challenge, I've been asked most weeks now, how's it going? People send me messages and they ask me on Facebook, and I've decided now that as from this week, I will, at the end of each video, I'll just give you a little update of how I'm getting on with the challenge and how it's going. This last week, I think I'm right in saying the weather has been quite hot, I think, and I'm sure it has. But so I've been out training quite a bit. I haven't been out today because I've got other things to do today, but I shall go out again tomorrow. So I'm trying to go training as much as I can most days. And over a period of time, I have gradually built up the distance, speed as well. But I'm not really too worried about speed. It's not about racing across the country. It's about getting from point A to point B and achieving it and admiring the countryside and doing it at my own pace. But I'm gradually building up my stamina, and it's ironic really if you think about it, because I'm probably fitter now than I've ever been, and I never was really unfit, but I've lost a bit of weight and I actually feel pretty good. So yeah, the ironic thing is it's taken a terminal condition to make me healthier. How does that work, eh? But anyway, yeah, so we've got a hill near us, quite a steep hill, and it's called Clay Hills. And I've been cycling up and down Clay Hills quite a bit to try and simulate a hill or two in Wales. And I know there's probably not going to be a lot of comparison, but I've managed to do Clay Hills, I think it's 5 or 6 times now, so up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's good. So yeah, I'm gradually building up. And also, one thing that I want to throw into the equation, the last part of the challenge, and this is thanks to my wonderful friend Rachel Niblock from Deep. She has kindly arranged for me to get a penny farthing, and I'm going to ride the last section from my home village in Friston through to Aldeburgh. I'm going to ride the last section on a penny farthing. It was a crazy idea, and whether it's a good one or not, I don't know. But you know what? I'm gonna do it because yeah, life's too short not to. So and the idea is to show people that dementia is not an easy ride, but it's doable. So that's where we are at the moment. So there we go. Have a great weekend as always. Have a wonderful week, and yeah, this is Peter here with an aching body, but you know what? A happy heart. So it's not all bad, is it? Thanks so much for listening again, and I'll be here next week with another update about the cycle challenge and also something else to talk about. Bye bye.